Hey, 10th grade design, this is Miss Staff. I just wanted to create a little video for you that shows you what we're going to be doing this week. As you can see on the screen, this is our weekly assignment from March 30th through April 6th. And you should be able to see Momo. She's back there behind me, hanging out. Yeah, there she is. Okay, so this week's assignments. I will always highlight on the task for you those things that are going to be due. And you can see them right there. So there are 3 steps that you will actually have to turn in, upload to ManageBack, and those will be formatives. Okay, let's go straight to the podcast lesson. And at the very top, I have the Zoom meeting. So please attend these Zoom meetings because it's an opportunity not only for you to see your friends and your classmates, but also to ask me questions. And I need you to log on a few minutes before your meeting is supposed to start or right on time. So your meetings will start at 1 o'clock, 1:30, or 2 o'clock. You join your class. I'm going to go over those weekly assignments. Hopefully you've already looked at them so you have in mind what kind of questions you might want to ask. And we can talk about that as well as I can go over any of the feedback. You should have received feedback already. If you go to your assignment, it should appear as little annotations. So let's look. Good. Now remember, I think I told everybody either via Zoom or email or my other videos that I want you to work for the prescribed amount of time or the recommended amount of time and then turn in whatever you have done. Don't finish one assignment and then go on to the next because I want to give you feedback. So do high quality work, don't rush through it, turn in what you do have, just let me know what you still need to finish. I will give you feedback and you'll be able to use that feedback going forward towards your summatives. So step 1, and I've allotted 20 minutes this time, is continue to work on writing those SMART questions and research answers if you already haven't finished them. And the next step is to continue analyzing 3 existing products and creating that video if you haven't finished that. So we will continue to work on those strands all the way until April 20th when you turn it in as a summative A. Okay, so we've got a new strand we're working on today, which is develop a detailed design brief that summarizes the analysis of relevant research. And we've already done the problem. So here is the design brief, your answer to NPR about what you're going to do for them. I've outlined those points that I need you to make sure you include in the essay. And this is a little bit longer than the problem statement, so I've given you 300 words instead of 250. Make sure again that you're using research to support and that you use those in-text citations. Next we're moving on to B, finally B. And here's where we're going to develop our specifications. So I've given you some resources to use in order to understand fully what's expected of these specifications. I've also given you some examples of what good and bad specifications look like. And we'll click over here to the document I've included is our design specification tables. I know you guys are probably sick of tables by now, but it's a really nice way to not only display your work, but also to look back and use those important pieces of information in order to understand what it is that we need our specification to do. So over here, I've got some Access FM points. You're welcome to add to that, and I added that at the bottom. And I want you to just bullet point your results from your analysis about aesthetics, suitability for the consumer, cost, and so forth. Then you're going to highlight if this information is primary or secondary, how essential or desirable is this information to your success, and from that you should be able to start developing your specifications. So fill that table out, and we will go back. finally, we get to start designing our podcast ideas here. You're going to create 3 feasible design plans for your podcast. Remember when we did our escape rooms, we drew out these plans and we made them 3D. It's a little harder to do with the podcast. But I've included some different kind of resources where you can look at templates, and you're welcome to design your own template that is perfectly tailored to your podcast needs. But in my table below, these are the things that I need you to definitely include in your template. Things like your podcast name, that 10-word podcast description, your logo art, your music, and so forth. At the very bottom, I've included, again, that checklist of those things that you need to upload to ManageBack. And I have the wrong date there. It should say April 6th. I will change that right away. And at the very bottom, remember, by the end of this week, you should have mostly, not completely, but mostly completed a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, B1, and B2, so you can receive feedback that you will need to make these summatives great. So, let me see if there's anything else. No, I think that's all before our Zoom meeting tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you there, and have a good afternoon.